Hi everybody, it's me, LisaT, coming at you with some positive energy, reading The Language of Letting Go by Beattie. Today's a mustard and ketchup day. I'm going to do, I think, 3 readings in a row because I missed it over the weekend. So, so we're backtracking a little bit here. We're doing January 15, standing up for ourselves. We learn some behaviors have self-defeating consequences. Some behaviors have self-defeating consequences, while others have beneficial consequences. Choose the behavior, choose the consequence, whether big or bad, whether good or bad. So you choose the behavior, you choose the consequence. You choose a good behavior, you choose a good consequence. You choose a bad behavior, you choose a bad consequence. We learn, we have choices. It is so easy to come to the defense of others. So easy for me to stick up for my friend, or when she's beating up on herself, it's so easy for me to say, oh my gosh, Joanna, don't talk about yourself like that. Or oh my gosh, Betty Sue, don't let him treat you that way, or don't let your family treat you that, it's so easy for me to stand up for somebody else and come to the defense of them. So easy to come to the defense of others. How clear it is when others are being used, controlled, manipulated, or abused. It is so easy to fight their battles, become righteously indignant, rally to their aid, and spur them on to victory. So easy for us to for me to cheer on my friend and tell her how good she is, and tell her how worthy she is, and tell her she doesn't have to put up with that, or tell her he's manipulating her, or she's manipulating her. So easy for me to do that. But you have rights, we tell them, and those rights are being violated. Stand up for yourself without guilt. That's something we could say to somebody else very easily. Why is it so hard then for us to rally to our own behalf? Why can't we see when we are being used, victimized, lied to, manipulated, or otherwise violated? Why is it so difficult for us to stand up for ourselves? There are times in life when we can walk a gentle, loving path. There are times, however, when we need to stand up for ourselves, when walking the gentle, loving path puts us deeper into the hands of those who could mistreat us. Maybe this was what was going on for me there a couple of weeks ago. I went to the opposite extreme. I was like, forget this. I'm done being kind and nice and generous. Where does it get me? I was on a rampage, a little temper tantrum. But maybe I just needed to jump to the other side. We talked about that in another video, going to the extremes. If we've been one way for another, sometimes we have to go to an extreme other before we can find our middle ground. So, so sometimes we need to be, walking gentle, loving path. But there are times, however, when we need to stand up for ourselves, when walking the gentle, loving path puts us in deeper into the hands of those who could mistreat us. Some days, the lesson we're to be learning and practicing is one setting boundaries. Simple. It's a lesson about setting boundaries. Some days, the lesson we're learning is that of fighting for ourselves and our own rights. So some days it's just learning how to fight for yourself and your rights. I've got to fight for my right to boundaries. Such a cheesemo I am. Sometimes the lessons won't stop until we do. I think that's the truth of my life. I'm like, okay, yeah, God, I get it. Another lesson, until I'm like on my knees in so much pain, like, no, and then I change. Today I will rally. Okay, here's your prayer for today. Today I will rally to my own cause. I will remember that it is okay to stand up for myself when that action is appropriate. Help me, God, to let go of my need to be victimized. Help me appropriately and with confidence stand up for myself. Amen.